a second rod, which is identical, but in this instance I've left the original handle on just to prove that they come with one handle, else I'll get told off. You can get spare handles from the service centre. Okay, let's work up to the top and talk about the float first. This is a little dart float. It's like a Stillwater grey, but it's actually loaded. So, going against what I said earlier, this is because such a tiny float, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't penetrate the water like one of the big carp floats or the pellet wagglers do. This is a 2 number 4, so that means that the bulk of the loading is in a brass rod in the base of it. But just look at the slender top on there. I mean, that wouldn't disgrace itself on any pole float. Nice thin cane, actually does show up. It's tapering, so it does show up the shots as they fall through the water on the rig. I've locked this with Styles, French made leads that I really do still find a great deal of use for. And so what I've done there is I've actually nipped the swivel on this float adapter down, so it's flattened it, and I've just got 2 number 10 Styles either side of that float, which locks it quite nicely. And now down to the actual shotting pattern I've got, and this is a little bit time consuming, but it's well worth it, especially if you're targeting big roach and you want to get that presentation perfect. I've got number 8 Styles, shirt button fashion, all the way down, equi-spaced, right down to the hook length. And again, no shot on the hook length. So there's my hook length between my fingers and thumb. On this one I've got a 24 hook and a diameter 6, which is probably a little bit too fine for today, but I just wanted to make sure we're going to get bites. You can always step up when you're getting bites and use a bigger hook and a heavier hook length, but I can work between the two anyway. So that's the secondary rig. So between the two, what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to work out which is going to be the most successful of the 2 rigs and stick with that. I'll get a bit more bait in, and then we'll have a closer look at what to do when you get a bite. Now that's what we're talking about. Lovely, plump, rootless. That's got to be the best part of 8-9 ounces, maybe even 10. Just to let you know what's been happening while I've been away from you. As I've stepped up the feed, I've started really reining the maggots in, and it's just like peeling the back of the ears for me, because this is how I used to fish in my Trentman days when I used to be in the top flight circuit. And I noticed there were fish swirling on the top beneath the ripples, and so what I've done is I've gone onto the insert waggler with the Styles used as a dropper, and I've shallowed right the way up. I was about 7 foot deep before, trying to just explore that water to see where I was getting bites. I could probably go shallower than this, but I've ended up at about 3-4 foot deep, double maggot. And then what I'm doing is I'm just letting that fall into the water, put it on the rest, and then I'm firing maggots in, a bunch of maggots in, and then I'm going to cast straight into the heart of that spread of maggots, and then hopefully with a bit of luck we'll catch one of the bigger ones. Holding the rod, I'm not putting it on the rest. This fish swirling out there all the time, and you know, you're going to miss bites. It's not always a bite when the float goes on. It can be a fish vortexing. Such a sensitive float, this little dart. And so just a bite of chuck now, it's absolutely brilliant. And there's not many people come down here and fish for roach, and obviously it's a big fish water these days, Claticate, and it's been synonymous with, you know, bagging waggler and method feeder, pole fishing. And there's not many people. I'm not saying it would win you a match in the summer months. I think you've got no chance. You could even get smacked up on the bream down here, but certainly in the winter months it might be worth having a little look for some roach, and maybe with a caster. Generally the bigger fish are higher up, and the smaller fish are when it gets to the depth, so I can keep changing and trimming this around. And that's the other thing I wanted to mention to you about shotting patterns. It's much better to have lots of permutations of shotting, in my experience. It's all very well having an Olivet, a bulk shot, and I have used them for balsa, fishing on rivers, and I've used them on slider work. But if you want to have lots more potential in terms of the actual terminal tackle, and the more shots you've got on your line that you can break down into different shotting patterns, the more options you've got in terms of presentation, either on the drop or getting it to pull through the fish. So I'm just going to shut up a minute now and try and catch you a couple of fish, because I think they're actually getting a bit frenzied here, and I've got to concentrate a bit more. That's a better one. That's a bit contrary to what I've been saying. That actually pretty much went to depth. I was just about to bring it out, and then it went under. Lovely nice roach. You know, if you were thinking about this in terms of a match weight, like I said previously, you probably wouldn't be in the running, but lost me discord, you know. There it is. There's no question in my mind, if you start getting these fish going, I mean, that's got to be 4 or 5 ounces, 4 to the pound. I mean, there's a good chance you could knock up 20 or 30 pound here without even trying, you know. And that's and that's the beauty of places like this. They're often overlooked and neglected in terms of other fish that are more sort of indigenous, really. I think again, bait quality is important, especially if you're in a competitive environment. You've got to have the very best. It's not always the case. Sometimes dead maggots will rue the day, but for roach fishing on the drop, I think you can't beat nice fresh dumpy maggots. So there you go. So just again, almost instantly on the water, within probably 6 inches of falling through the water, that roach is taking the bait. Lovely soft action, as you can see, just pumping away there. Small hook, 22 hooks. Lovely roach. It doesn't really get much better than this, in all honesty, for me. I watched a match yesterday at a commercial water where it's a great venue. There's a lot to be said for commercial fishing. I mean, this is a commercial for all intents and purposes. But you know, 130 pound of carp in 4 hours is some endeavour, I have to say. There you go, another lovely roach. Nice big pouch full, keep that thing going. Let's have a look on the top when they go in, just to keep an eye on it. You will see swirls. I mean, there's a good chance some of these might be carp. Even tench have been known to come up in the water here. And you don't have to be as frenetic as I am when you're doing this. This can be a lot more gentler and a lot easier. You know, it doesn't have to be down to trying to catch as many as you like. We come here with a little bit of insider information. My mate came down here and did some bream and carp fishing. Stuart came down last weekend, said one of the locals catching some roach on the drop, sort of my kind of fishing. We decided to come down and target it. 2 techniques, one with a straight waggler, one with the insert. That will compensate for lots of different things, as I've mentioned before. Just the layout of the tackle, quite important. And just watching mobile phones on places like this, I'll be in the drink. And just have everything to hand, nice and comfortable. And keep the bait going in. That's another essential ingredient on any form of fishing, but particularly for roach. And once you get the roach competing like this, then it's just automatic pilot, really.